29 News Now, WAFB Plus. We need chairs back up here, man. It's on a Monday.
I know, right?
Gracious.
My knees are buckling. I'm kind of like this.
Doing this.
Listen to the complaints coming out of the young kids. Holy cow.
Well, we're not as young today because Liz isn't here, and so we're a little bit older average age, and I'm significantly less attractive than Liz, so there's that too.
All of us. I'll give her that.
We all have weekends filled with footballs and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Go Jags, go Tigers.
Your Penn State fellas.
Penn State, we won
State.
just like LSU. It was the same thing. Went to OT. Defense stepped up. It was good.
It's crazy. Anybody you know was out at the LSU game?
I know several people. I was in Beaumont watching it with Mom on TV, but we had a lot of friends in the stadium.
Yeah.
Would you believe that one of our friends left at third quarter?
Oh my gosh,
really?
I'm like, are you an idiot?
Well, here's the thing. Now that there was, and my uncle and my cousin came down and gave them our tickets for this game. My goodness, did they see a ball game?
They saw a good one.
But they're like, yeah, we noticed a few people leave, but most folks stayed.
Oh, that stadium looked packed on TV.
Oh my gosh, it was absolutely crazy. And the LED, the light show that they put on, the bracelets and everything. What a show. And everybody who was there, I mean, I had all the LSU celebs there. It was, man. It
saw Shaq on TV a couple of times.
Yeah, Paul Skeens and
oh
Livy
my gosh.
And the whole crew, a bunch of former LSU wide receivers.
So we bumped up to number 9.
Top 10 now. So
top 10.
Yeah,
good.
we'll see.
We'll
see. You got some games to come, obviously, with Arkansas and A&M.
I felt like we played very well on both sides of the ball for the first time this year.
Probably. Well, I think what you saw was, I mean, an Ole Miss offense was like, I'm going to come in and torch you, and the defense really stepped up. I think LSU's offense, to their own admission, they're like, oh, we weren't firing on all our cylinders well enough.
Right.
But plays were made when they led for exactly zero amount of time. Zero. Because you don't get to count a second.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's right.
They zero time did they lead, except for when the clock ran out there because there is no clock at that.
I think our QB was a little off, but the defense
he'll tell you that. He'll tell you that.
Yeah, but it was still a good game on both sides. But
crazy game.
It was basically
good.
Yeah.
I've not been pleased with our defense.
It was basically an elimination game because now Ole Miss, their chance of the playoffs are basically nil. And now if you go on to ESPN, they have all their experts weigh in, and now most of them are picking LSU to be in the top 12, to be a playoff team. That was definitely not the case until after that game.
So Ole Miss falls 5-2.
Yeah, that's their second loss. They're not out, but they're
more difficult.
They're most likely out. And now, once upon a time, it looked like LSU had a tough schedule, but Alabama looks beatable. You were talking about Vanderbilt. Don't overlook Vanderbilt.
Look, got to get by Arkansas. Then you got the
They've got
Aggies
Texas A&M. Yeah, I think that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Plus, you're going out there too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
College Station.
And then Sunday came.
And then that happened. So we're going to talk about this.
Let's just skip over that.
I was driving home from Beaumont listening, all excited. I went to a book on tape, got home, ate dinner, went to the TV set, saw oh my gosh, what happened?
Everything. Speaking of defense, good gracious, 51 points. That was ugly.
Defense, fired the defense into the moon.
Oh my gosh, that was a lot. Well, speaking of the moon, some launches today. They had SpaceX yesterday. They literally captured a booster rocket the size of like two Statues of Liberty. They grabbed it with chopsticks, and then later on today, possibly like the biggest rocket ever, courtesy of SpaceX, going to be launched.
No, that was really impressive, wasn't it? They just put it right back. I'm sitting here watching like, there's no way. I'm like, there's no way they're going to do this, and they did.
And you're like, it can't be that big, and then you realize how big that thing is.
We're very close to having just Joe Public being able to go run to the moon for the weekend and back.
I mean, he'd be on it.
He'd be
scared to death, but I'd do it in a minute.
If there's water on the moon, Johnny's going to find it, and he's going to set up a cruise. I'm telling you.
Put a boat on there, and he's going to take you around.
There's Kalu on the moon. I'm leaving tomorrow.
All right. Well, I tell you what, can you take us to the water? Look what you did over here.
I certainly can. Wow. Yeah, a really nice sunrise over there, and it was actually even more beautiful just a few minutes ago over False River, looking live and looking good. Feeling good as well. We're at temperatures right now hovering around 70 degrees, and it's not every day that we get to break out the temperature roller coaster graphic, but nevertheless, here it is. High today around 91, high tomorrow 89, and then that's it. It's a wrap. Look at the high on Wednesday, 75, and that's nothing compared to the forecast lows. All right, I want wanted to pass this along. Please don't make me pronounce this name. We'll call it Comet C 2023A3 because that's easier to say. Visible now through October 21st. And if you're thinking, I'll just wait till next time. No, you won't. That'll be 80,000 years from now, and none of us will be here then. You may need binoculars or telescope to help you out, and you want to look to the west after dusk. Again, you can do that now through October 21st. Happy hunting. And what about this? Big time cold front comes Tuesday night. Now, if you were hoping for some rain, bad news is it's not going to be a rainmaker. Wednesday, Thursday highs in the mid-70s. Wednesday, Thursday lows starting in the 50s, dropping into the 40s Thursday morning. And yes, that's right here in Baton Rouge. Here's a little bit of a difference here today. We've got an air quality alert. We usually don't see those this time of year, but it's the second day in a row. We did actually have one for Sunday. Nothing doing on our region. Across the entire region, we're looking nice and quiet. And here comes the heavily advertised cold front. And look at that surge of really dry, stable air behind it. It looks like that'll move through very late Tuesday night, going into Wednesday morning. And that significantly drops dew points. Matter of fact, I've got to rework this graphic because the truth is we haven't had dew points in the 30s forever. So I've got to actually change the range on that. But remember, as the dew point drops, so can the temperature. Nothing doing as far as rain forecast over the next 7 days. We're not looking at anything. I've got to check the update on this, but at the last check, it's 40%, a medium chance of development. Here in Louisiana, I would say we don't have to worry about this. The only folks that I would say have to worry are probably in the Caribbean, the Bahamas, maybe Florida. I think they need to keep an eye on it, but over here, I wouldn't worry about that. High temperature today, 91 degrees, but that's okay. Give it a couple of days, and we're going to fix that. We're not going to be very chilly for tonight. This is just the beginning of our transition as we get an overnight low of 65, so slowly but surely we're getting there. Then we drop another 10 as we have a low temperature of 55 Wednesday morning. What about 48 Thursday morning? And the rest of the 10-day, again, beautiful, but if you were hoping for something in the way of rain, well, better luck next time. At 7:09, Johnny A. How are the roads looking on the moon?
I was just kind of stepping back, looking at our map. Usually we see huge amounts of traffic coming in from Denham at this hour, a little after 7, and 40-minute drive times. Not the case today. Some of that may be due to the fact that the schools are out. So we do see a little bit of brake tapping right here. This is Amite River Bridge right there. So we back that up 4-H Club Road range, and that's about it. Not back to Jubin, certainly, and just a little slow traffic between Essen and the 1012. Here's I-12 looking back toward Denham, Jefferson Drusilla off-ramp right there, and then this is your westbound traffic right here approaching Essen and the 1012 flyover exit. 17 minutes from Denham Springs to Baton Rouge measured from Jubin to the 1012, and again most of that right around the it says Jubin to the Amite, more specifically Pete's Highway to 4-H Club Road, that little bitty overpass right there over the top of Range in Denham. Great drives though, not a bad drive at all the way into the downtown area. And again, some of that's because some of the schools are out, quite a number of them, as a matter of fact. 7:10, we do this every morning. WAFB 9 News Now on the Plus. A couple of headlines you might have missed this morning. We'll get an update for you right after a short break. Stay with us.
Here at 7:12, before we get going, a few things we want to make sure that you are aware of going on today that got our eyes on, including this. If you're still trying to figure out who you're going to be voting for in East Baton Rouge Parish when it comes to the mayor-president, there is a forum going on today with 4 of the candidates. You see them right there. Again, this is happening today. Drusilla Place Catering. from noon to 1 o'clock if you want to get out there and be a part of that and have a listen. Actually, you know what? No matter where you're going to be voting, make sure you are, in fact, registered to vote. You can do that online now. That's the only way you can do that. The deadline to do that is tomorrow. GoVote.com. Early voting is going to be from October 18th through the 29th, minus the Sundays, of course. Election Day right around the corner. That's coming up on November 5th. Hey, so you know, there is a town of Bruley putting a little meeting together. One of the things they could be talking about is considering a pursuit app for this. Police using during pursuits, kind of like a chase warning, that kind of thing, to let you know if you're in the area that is going on. That's something that they're going to be talking about, so we'll see which way they decide to go with that. Also waiting to hear and working to hear now from law enforcement the very latest on a shooting. This is from yesterday, about 6 o'clock yesterday. You know where Avenue A is? Right there. You kind of see it near Woodpecker Street. One injured. Now, officially don't know how bad that injury is. Again, we're working with law enforcement to get you caught up, so we'll keep you in the know. We do know, unfortunately, though, how bad it is. We're here with Hurricane Milton. And, of course, look, you get to add Hurricane Helene to some of this. When you talk about Florida, the president there surveying some of the damage just yesterday. A lot still to be done here as they continue to recover. And I tell you what, you can be a part of that. Check this out. Hurricane Relief Donation Drive going on today in Ascension Parish. It's Tanger, the Tanger Mall there in Gonzales. Make your way up there. It's you know where the Chili's is right there? That's where you need to head. The parking lot behind it, going on right now until 7 o'clock. Bring up some of those essential items. And want to make sure you know this as well. Matt Venezia was live on the Bluff this morning. Why? Because it is homecoming for the Blue and Gold. The Tigers had homecoming week last week, so this week it's all about the Jags. A lot of stuff going on up there. Check out Matt's story right there waiting for you. Big week up on the Bluff, getting ready for Alcorn, guys. It'll be
I like
good.
the way they stagger that LSU and then Southern, so you can each have your own.
Yeah, I like that too.
It doesn't always work
Right.
out that way, but it certainly did this time. And yeah, this is it'll be good up there. And look, man, the Jags with just a heart-stopping OT win themselves over the weekend.
Big time.
So they're looking good in conference
This weekend. All
Yeah.
over
Not
the
bad,
place.
not bad. All right, so we'll see you again in about like 10 minutes.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah. At least you and I'll be here. He's going to go get coffee
Wow.
again.
This month at Team Mazda, we're spelling October starting with a 0. That's because you'll find 0% financing on every new 24 and select 25 Mazdas, including the all-new Mazda CX-70. Come experience Mazda and see just how much you'll save at Team Mazda on Airline.